What's up, beautiful souls? I want to take a moment. I want to share this week some things I've been practicing with, some things that I'm challenging myself on, because I know as a collective, we experience these energy shifts, these timelines together as a collective. And thus, I know I'm not the only one that is potentially undergoing what I'm calling is like a huge spotlight and what's next to come. And what's coming with that is a light that's magnifying this expansion, contraction of my vessel. And what is the contraction? It's the limiting beliefs and the fears that happen when I expand and think about the desires and aspirations that are imprinted in my soul. And because it's imprinted in my soul, there's a knowing and certainty that is already mine. But what follows is nothing more than another contraction of where I limit myself, where I make myself small because the desire and aspiration feels so big. And this light that has been shining on my aspirations, my desires, also have been shining a light on my fears, my limiting beliefs. And I know from past experiences, it's not the first time I've been here. We're ever expanding if we're still got breath in us, right? That I've done this before. And I know that that desire, aspiration is mine. If I am capable of leaning into the fear and limiting belief, understanding why they're there because there's a bigger message. They are, that frequency is a tool. If we allow ourselves to learn to alchemize it, it can become the bridge that brings us to what we want. And I know for myself personally, when I work, a lot of the times our fears are associated outside of us. So if I can release the outside source, come in and make it between me and the divine, I know in past instances anyway, that's where I've found the courage to alchemize those fears, to restructure those, and find the courage to create the bridge that would help me step into the aspirations and desires that are already mine. And once you do that, you realize there was nothing to fear but fear itself, right? But that doesn't mean that there's new challenges, new degrees, that's what we're doing. We are here to expand our vessel, to become us, to become the best essence of us. And these are what these challenges are here for. So for me, I've been really leaning into what the desires are and what the intentions are behind those desires. Because I also know throughout my life, those desires have shifted and changed, which is a part of the journey, which is actually just realigning me closer to what it is that my soul speaks to. Likewise, reevaluating that which holds me back. So I know for myself personally, there's a younger part of me that has a program, and it's still very much in my intellect that I'm working to work through. So for me, it's this idea, and this is what I'm hoping to bring forth for you guys, and when we reevaluate these limiting beliefs, and are they real, and is there another way we can approach it? The younger Crystal felt like to do this growth often was associated with this idea of self-development and self-discipline, and thus with it means it has to be hard. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't grow you. And that's really this concept. And I can speak for myself. I'm in an era where I'm past that. I am at era with the divine and my higher self that I'm in a moment of, I want to attract, I do have this certainty. What's meant for me will be. But that doesn't mean I don't want to grow. And thus, when I have this desire, what's holding me back? And I'm speaking, this is kind of my personal, so shift it to your personal place that you're in. But that being said, so this self-development, the self-discipline has to be in my programming and what comes to mind. It must be hard. It must be exhausting. You have to push. You have to become the best self by putting more of you than you've ever had before, discovering more of yourself. I have to strive. I have to push, and I have to do. It must be a challenge. Otherwise, there's no growth. And that doesn't resonate with my soul anymore. It just doesn't. That doesn't mean I don't want to grow. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. This is what this whole thing is about, right? Because in order to step into our desires, into our aspirations, we have to be able to face those limiting beliefs. We need to be able to alchemize and make that the tool that can help us bridge to what is already ours. So for me, it's been rewiring and looking at this growth from a different point of view. And what I've done, and what I want to share, so those ideas, right? Hard, strive, do, push. Is it possible that I can look at it from a different angle? Is it possible I can look at it from a point where I'm at in my own soft era, that I can thrive? I'm going to thrive at what I'm going to pursue rather than strive. I'm going to flow into this desire by being led by my intuition. The aspirations, the moments that I get the intuitive hit of it's time to move, and it comes easy, and I'm no longer pushing. It's a flow. And rather than doing the hard thing, it almost goes into that whole concept of fake it till you make it. Becoming, being that desire, being that aspiration. And moreover, when I look at it and these moves that I gotta do, sometimes there are going to be things I don't necessarily want to do, but I'll have the intuitive hit, or else I understand that that's what I need to do. Instead of looking at it as a challenge, I'm moving into it with devotion. I'm doing it because I am devoted to me. I am devoted to her, my higher self. The one that came to show up and play in her full light, to expand the vessel and the capacity. With that certainty, I know I can. I can step into that power. And this is where I'm encouraging you. By letting go of the outside noise, the outside spectacles, right? The fears of maybe how others may perceive it, or even releasing the old programming, thus where I'm at, of in order to do it, it's going to have to be horrific and it's got to be hard. Versus leaning into, I already know it's mine. And I want to approach it from a different angle. And what was really beautiful about this, my angels do this, and it's a great reminder too. After I reframed this idea of self-development into more like this idea of devotion for me, doing things because I'm devoted, not because I have to, but because I want to. See the difference? It comes with a reminder. Isn't perception a funny thing? And what they interjected to me also, how come there's so many times when we can look at a word or our communication can often be found with, it's often miscommunicated, right? If somebody has an idea of a perception of what a word means, that's why energy is so significant. And the intention that we place behind it is what I'm trying to get at. They had chuckled and they said, is there any wonder that there's miscommunication in today's world? Thus reminding us, I guess, just as a side note, it's a great opportunity when we don't understand, maybe to take time to ask somebody to explain what they mean, even though they're using the same words that we conceptualize. Because in this moment, I am learning to reframe my structural thinking, my own intellect around what growth means. And it's different than I was programmed to believe. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys in your own endeavor of whatever contraction, expansion you might be in. And the best advice I can say is it's already yours. So if you can step into certainty, make it a gift, an exchange between you and the divine, you and your higher self, as you step into creating more room for this vessel of yours to shine and acquire that desire and aspiration. No, it's already yours. You are so loved and you are so supported. It really is a beautiful time to make it about you and the Creator, you and your higher self, and let go of all external need of validation or expectations. I have so much love for you guys. There's only one more thing. Lean into every emotion and understand the intent behind it. And until next time, loving you guys all so much. Namaste.